G'day, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you the strategy in the team order I used for this Epic Trials in Blighted Lands. It's got the little blue disc thing on it there, that means it's the Epic Trials. Let's dive in on the last level, 350. Now I have changed the team order around slightly from how it was originally, and the reason is, Baphomet is your most important troop here. It does damage to 3 random enemies, but if the enemy is burning, deal double damage. That really is important for this, because Lufritia is the next most important troop. It does damage to an enemy. Don't care about if they're a boss or not, because they're not. But the last part, burn all enemies. A really important part of this spell. You're going to want to get both of these troops up at the same time. Cast Lufritia first, Baphomet second. Make sure you get that double damage going on, because it really is a really important thing to make sure you succeed in these epic trials. Up top we have Herald of Woe. Reduce damage from skulls by 25%, as well as inflict death mark when doing skull damage. 2 really cool things. If you get hit by a skull, you're going to have 25% reduced damage, but as well as that, you're going to death mark that opponent at the same time and hope that that comes in. The spell is just a little bit mediocre. It's vaguely useful. Destroys a row. Can be used to your advantage if you see a situation on the board where you can take away a gem and make a match, and then gains a certain amount of attack and armor based on your magic, boosted by brown gems destroyed. Blightwing, not that useful. Bit of damage to the enemy. If they're diseased, explode 3 green gems, and if the enemy is burning, explode 3 red gems. So you can get a little bit of mana gen from that at the same time, but it's mostly these 2 we're going to be concentrating on. We're going to be trying to get like purple, get blue, get red as much as we can. Right, for the actual enemy team, because we're doing the damage to 3 random enemies most of the time, the kill order isn't that vital. I mean, you can target people with this troop here and this troop here to soften them up. Herald of Chaos does destroy a row and does a significant amount of damage that is reasonably dangerous, and has that inflict death mark when doing skull damage as well, so we probably want to get rid of him first. Twisted Hero creates 5 red gems, 5 purple gems, and gives points to a random skill on a random ally. Depends upon where that goes and who it goes on, whether that ends up being an issue or not. Bone Daemon deals damage to an enemy and double damage if there's a bone storm, and creates a bone storm. So if that gets to cast twice quickly, that is a real danger as well. So right now we're looking at Herald of Chaos and Bone Demon as our first targets. And Hellhound does damage to a random enemy and either burns or diseases them. So in order, I'd probably say Herald of Chaos, Bone Daemon, Hellhound, Twisted Hero. So you can't control that with Baphomet, but you can certainly soften them up with these other troops. Right, let's dive into battle then, see what we can do. Right, we are looking for, as we said, purple mainly, but we won't say no to any 4 matches when they're there. I'll get my Baphomet up first before I think about casting Lufritia. And take skull hits almost no matter what. Make sure you take the skull hits. You do not want to give them a skull hit, because you can just take massive damage in the first place, and then that death mark. You're just like on tenterhooks all the time, wondering if you're going to survive or not. Right, so we're going to cast Lufritia first. Let's chuck it on them. Even though they can die from death mark, you don't really want to take the chance. Let's hope Baphomet hits it once or twice. Nope, completely danced around it. Never mind. If there's any purple, any red, any blue, I'm still taking that. There's no purple. There's no red. A little bit of blue, and we do get yellow from it at the same time. Not that we need it right now. You can do this. It's a small amount of attack and armor. Can help though. Can get some mana from it. If you have a look around, what you're looking for is basically a gap in the gems, which basically when that gem is missing is going to drop down into a 3 match. Not seeing anything in particular there at the moment. So we can cast something else instead. Alright, I'm going to cast it on them. What are we looking for now? Still cast a top troop if it had a decent option. You don't have to wait for loads of brown in a row. You can just cast it anyway if you want to generate a bit of mana and get a bit more attack, a bit more armor. Let's do it on that row there. So you've got to be careful. Gave him a 4 match there from not looking properly. Don't want to take things that are going to give him a skull hit, so we do not want to take that. That's going to give me a skull hit on them, so I will absolutely take that. Take your time with these, don't rush through them. It's not like normal fights. These are a little bit like delves where you have to be fairly careful. This is like the most tricky one we've had for a while. They've been pretty straightforward for the last several weeks. This one though, you do have to be a little bit careful. That's going to give him a skull whack, which I want to avoid. So's that. It's even worse. It's going to give him a 4-match skull hit. I just want to do anything right now which doesn't give him a skull hit. That gives him a skull hit. That gives him a skull hit. That might not. Does that? No, I don't think that does. Just going to drop this other one down at the same time. Right, I'm going to do. Oh no, I can't do that. That gives him a skull whack as well. Right, let's do that. Correct in red for me, that's quite nice. Thank you very much, I'm not saying no to that. And we'll definitely have a slice of them. Any purple going on that doesn't leave a skull whack? I'll take this skull hit really. I want to get rid of purple for my Baphomet in an ideal world. I think that's safe. Still taking this skull hit, I'm not taking a chance. Don't mind this other damage from the other ones. These will be tricky though if you're a newer player to the game and your stats aren't as high. Right, now if Baphomet hits that top one, they are going to be dead. And Baphomet decided to miss them all again for the second time in a row, and they shook off the burn at the very first attempt. Great stuff. Right. Let's get some reds for our Baphomet, I think. Oops. Not my fault. Couldn't have possibly known that was coming. And what should we grab next? Let's get some purple. You can go Orpheus medals on these fights to shake off them death marks quicker. It's a bit of a yin and yang really. You can go Nisha medals to boost up the damage of pretty much every single troop you've got, which can make a difference, but at the same time you are winging it a bit on things like this. If you get hit by a skull, that death mark has a chance to come in. You've got 3 times Orpheus medals, for example. You've got 3 separate 10% chances, as well as the standard 10% chance to get recovered, and we've got recovered there. That was pretty nifty. Right, let's get some purple then for my Baphomet. Let's get this burn going. Come on, Baphomet, don't dance around him again. Hey, we finally hit him that time. Who's next? Can do that. Let's give them a wallop. That's going to give me a red extra turn. Let's get my Baphomet up while I've got a chance. Oh, I didn't even look at that green match. I was too busy looking at my red. Nothing like getting your Baphomet up. If you get a chance to get your Baphomet up, I suggest you take it. Happy days. Alright, let's give them a bit of a wallop. Let's do this double damage now. We're gonna hit them. The cool thing about Baphomet is as well is now this dude here will get hit 3 times because he's just going to get hit again and again and again. There's a nice little double whack there and a 4-match skull. That was very generous of the AI this time. We are nearly going to be done on this. Someone's had their magic taken away. Gain 1 attack and armor boosted by brown gems. Yes. Let's do that. Not. Do we have purple? Do we have red? Do we have blue? Let's do green then. If we get this one up, this job's done. Oh, So near yet so far. And there it is. You are one shish kebab. Victory is ours. That's the way to do it. Just avoid skulls. Do not want skulls. Do not want to take a chance on that death mark and things like that. And just be careful how you go about things. Just soften the enemies up with the other troops and just make sure you cast your Lucifer, whatever her name is, and then your Baphomet back to back to make sure you get that double damage. There's the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, any of that kind of thing, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.